Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 9, Crisis Point. My friends, there's so much to talk about, but I'm not going to say a word because it is time to watch. If you could, my friends, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ringy, ding that bell for notifications for any time we go live on YouTube with any Star Trek or science fiction related content. But my friends, all of that is then. This is now. And what is now? Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 1, Episode 9, the penultimate episode of the season, Crisis Point. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. Ah, Cerritos. Toppling a statue.
The lizard men will no longer be subject to rat oppression.
This is a holodeck.
Pressed, we raise them as food. They like it.
Well, we are delicious.
We are delicious.
Bask?
Okay, then you should
Bask.
bask without fear of being eaten.
Well, that does sound nice.
This is not the holodeck.
It's funny, normally I'm like a huge disappointment to her, but this time she's gonna be pumped that I rooted out injustice.
That's a setup for failure.
I'm afraid my ensign has made a huge mistake.
What?
Oh no.
You are way out of bounds here.
They're eating those guys. What am I supposed to do?
Report it to me.
Yeah.
So you're yelling at me for spreading freedom because you don't feel like filing a report?
I'm confused though.
If you weren't my daughter, you'd be off the Cerritos.
If I wasn't your daughter, you wouldn't be such a bitch all the time.
That's it.
Whoa.
Back to the ship. You are going straight to.
Yeah, I know. Straight to the brig.
She's gonna transfer you.
Going to the brig. You're going to therapy.
What? You think
Oh. Oh, do we get a ship's counselor?
You need professional help.
Dr.
I didn't think the Cerritos had a counselor.
I don't need therapy!
Okay, look. Will you stop eating these guys if we give you food replicators?
I don't know. Can they make nutrient pellets?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're at the credits. Couple questions here. So, Mariner's not allowed to influence their course of their culture or society because of the Prime Directive. That doesn't seem right. I think that you can't have contact before pre-warp society. That's the way I always understood it. Once you have contact, the Prime Directive is sort of not done, but it's like pushed to the side. I don't know. I need a little clarification on that. I'm assuming you still can't dictate the course. You don't want to like establish a government or anything like that. My other question is, she helped them. Okay, so she did insert herself into the political ramifications of the planet, but isn't given technology the same thing? I mean, wouldn't that be like giving, it's for peaceful purposes, I understand, but it's like arming insurgents, wouldn't that be like the same type of like, I don't know. What do you think? I didn't expect to be thinking this much at the beginning of this episode. We can't have that.
Mariner, this report is a veritable fruit salad of insubordination.
I don't want to be here.
Is he a parrot?
Nice shot, Da Vinci.
Grazie.
Hey guys,
Grazie.
I've got a big evaluation with Captain Freeman this afternoon. She's selecting eager-to-please candidates for her advanced diplomacy workshop.
Eager to please.
Ciao, Da Vinci.
Ciao, Tandy.
Ciao, attendi.
Oh, you simulated the crew?
Yeah, that way I could pre-interview so I don't make any mistakes when it's for real. I
Are you allowed to do that?
entries from the entire crew's private logs.
Aren't those private?
And it algorithm.
You're definitely not allowed to do that.
They'll respond exactly the way they would in real life. All I gotta do is feed it a scenario, then the simulated crew fills in the blank.
This is Boimler 7, too, so there must be like 1 through 6.
Why waste this on some dumb interview prep? I'm putting in my own parameters.
What is she doing?
What the hell? What did you do in my program?
I made it into an awesome movie. I'm gonna work some out.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's got like the Superman beginning of like the fonts. Is this the music from Wrath of Khan? No. Winger Bingston Jr. Bingston Jr. Wasn't that the one-man show guy? Cabo Lake, Command Retreat.
I might be getting up in years, but I still hold the Hydra scoot speed record back at the Academy. Captain out!
Jeez. Full contact, Hydro Scoot.
Actually, I need to borrow the captain for a quick interview.
It's her birthday!
Why is he calling her Cap'n?
We've received a bizarre message from the leaders of Idlokana Sick.
Is that Censors?
Thank us for a wonderful second contact with the crew of the San Clemente.
So, what's wrong with that?
Starfleet doesn't have a San Clemente.
Ooh.
Contacting them wasn't our ship.
What a mystery.
I gotta keep in mind that Mariner wrote this.
And Freeman, stick to the plan this time.
This is cool though. Oh, this is just like the movies when they see her from the shuttle. Look at that. She is a beaut. Tough little ship. I do. I actually really love that ship. Yep, I'm with you, Billups. Making me tear up a little bit. Billups, full on weeping. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you, buddy.
She never fails to take my breath away.
Me either, Carol.
Cerritos is a handsome lady.
You're damn right about that, Boiler.
That definitely would have gotten her attention or her approval. She is a good ship. She really is.
Warp me!
Warp me! Idlokana 6? What am I this is a... We're still in the holodeck.
Enemy vessel decloaking!
Raise shield!
Klingons. Looks like it, right? Ooh.
I am Vindicta! Vengeance!
Vindicta?
I will bathe in your blood.
Oh my god, from the title, okay.
My three henchmen of the
Who's that guy?
comes from a long line of thieving Orion pirates.
That's a little derogatory, but okay.
Theft!
And,
Teddy's not real down with this, I think.
Tremble at the sight of the great Vindicta!
and
Oh, Rutherford's into it.
I'm Shampoo. I was supposed to be played by Boimler.
Okay, come on.
Shempo. I assume Shempo is like the replacement, like Shemp was the replacement for Curly in the Three Stooges.
blindly licking Starfleet's boot and begging for heal.
Oh, Vindicta got your ass. Tea Master.
This is coffee.
I mean, I know it's a hologram, but damn. From Melville.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Lamont. Your one-man show took my breath away.
Thank you.
God, these stupid capes. So much fabric.
That's the thing about capes. They'll get you killed.
Bring me Freeman and I'll let you live.
Never, bitch.
Do you think Billups is in here?
Probably.
So I can say whatever I want to my boss with no consequences?
What are you gonna say, Rutherford? Watch Rutherford be like, you know, F you!
You're right.
Lundy?
Wow.
This isn't my first overpowered space warlord, and it won't be my last.
Dear God.
You can talk the talk, but can you... She can do both! Oh, she's walking and talking! Sir, quick, what the...
She's walking and talking.
But watch out, she's allergic to...
Yep. I am not super down with...
Billups, show yourself! Sir!
Ooh, Rutherford, what's going on, bud?
Well, I've wanted to say something to you for a long time. You are the best engineer in the fleet!
Oh, I was gonna say, there's no way Rutherford's mad at this guy.
Rudimentary plasma filter!
Wow, for a random space marauder, you really know your way around a starship.
Leave it to Rutherford to make this what he needs it to be. God, is that like a phase 10 phaser rifle? What? Oh, amazing.
Porkhead! Designation explosive.
Oh, look! Oh, Shax's earring! You have to wear it.
There's a piece of ear on it. Oh, I don't...
It is not my whole thing. And for your information, many Orions haven't been pirates for over 5 years.
5 years.
Come on, let's go torture the cat doctor. Like, really torture the hell out of her.
No, that's her friend.
You're way too into this. This is messed up.
I agree, Tendy.
What is with you today? This is not healthy.
It's super unhealthy.
Come on, let me just take down the captain and then we can grab Talka.
What do you know?
Oh, it's going to be way worse than that.
Oh.
Hey, come on. This isn't you.
It is too.
Absolutely Tendy doing what very few friends would do.
Shax, anyone, come in.
No one left.
This is disturbing.
It's just me and you. And these guys.
I am very worried about Mariner.
I don't want your ship. I want you to stop treating me like I'm the bad guy all the time.
You are the bad guy.
See, this isn't an accurate conversation because she doesn't see you.
No, this is crazy.
Sir, her ship, the warp core's gone critical.
Brace for impact.
I don't understand the point of this, Mariner. Just to get at your mom? I mean, there are better ways to do it. Much, much better ways. Ooh, I'm not sure I wanted to see what... I've been... Thank God this is the holodeck. I can't see the Cerritos getting effed up. Cannot. Generations effed me up because watching the Enterprise go down. Oh my God, she's on the view screen.
All surviving crew, emergency evacuation.
Surviving... God, I don't like this.
When are you going to give up the loving captain act?
It's not an act.
It's not an act. Just thinking about her crew at the...
But the rest of the crew.
We'll be fine. I initiated a rapid repeating emergency transport sequence and beamed the entire crew before we crashed.
What? That's not possible.
What?
No, it's a movie. You can beam whatever you want. You can do all sorts of beaming stuff in a movie.
What?
What is going on, man? I don't like this. Nice job, Carol. I think I'm on your side.
Why do you have to be so hard on me?
What? I don't know you.
See, she doesn't have the... I mean, in this world, she doesn't have a Beckett, presumably. This is a poor representation of what this conversation, or, you know, this exchange would go. Oh my God, don't do it, Beckett.
Get off my mom, you bitch. Wait, Mark, you simulated me in here too? Not cool, man. I got private stuff in those logs. Emergency transport on signal now.
Beckett, no.
Oh, great. Well, now it's just us. Yeah, thanks for ruining. Oh, let me make it up to you. Double punch! Double block!
That's my Mariner.
I know you dressed up like Toby Targ every Halloween, even when you were too old.
Toby Targ, I don't know who that is. God, that got me really bad.
Do the hard thing and just be a good officer.
How is she beating her? Did she, like, literally just kill herself? Jesus, I'm torn up, man. This is
crazy. But you want to just, I don't know, run away together and we can get our own ship and we can buffer the phase coil whenever we want or realign the matrix.
Really?
Captain, I know you've been through a lot today, but I made...
Hey, he's Jet.
The captain's allergic to chocolate.
Great work, Jet. That's the kind of assassin tackling that'll land you a promotion.
There's always an off-screen yo when Jet's around. Oh my God, I don't like this. Mariner, you gotta stop. Or Vindicta, or whoever the fuck you're calling yourself.
Yeah, I may hate protocol, but I don't hate the ship. I don't
Right.
hate the crew. I work with my best friends. The captain's my mom. I would do anything for her. Oh, come on. No, you hate the captain. You complain about her nonstop. It's like your whole thing.
Listen to yourself. God, listen to me. Jesus.
Please.
Yep.
The only person you care about is yourself. Woo! Okay, well then why did I let you kick my ass to buy time for everyone to get off the ship before the self-destruct timer went off? Wait, what?
Oh, he's-
Wow, I can't believe I just got my ass kicked by myself and just...
yeah, because yourself was right.
Oh my God, therapy works. Guys, therapy works!
I'm gonna need therapy after this.
Hey, T, I owe you an apology.
You sure do.
Pirate thing, I feel really bad. I'm sorry if I put you in a weird spot.
Thanks, I appreciate it. And the truth is, a lot of Orions are capitalist, hyper-libertarian gangsters.
Libertarian. What a friend Tendy is. What a friend.
You wanna maybe go sit and look at the warp core with me?
Wow, so lame. Yes, let's do it.
We talking warp core? Woo, baby.
Yeah, you love the warp core.
Mariner.
Hey, Cap. Sorry about earlier today. I was way out of line. Thanks for looking out.
There you go. Yeah, Carol, she learned what she needed.
Computer, continue program. Hey, Captain, do you like turtlenecks or just standard uniform?
Against
Sorry, you got something going on here. I'll wait.
As captain, it was an honor serving beside her. As a mother, it was a privilege to call Mariner my daughter. That's right. Mariner was my daughter the whole time. It's a secret we didn't want anyone to know. And if someone had ever found out,
The private logs.
I don't know what I would have done. Probably kicked them off the ship. Maybe even court-martialed them right out of Starfleet.
Oh, Brad. Oh, Brad. Come on, Brad. Chill.
You're
You got a
interested
serious...
in the
Oh,
advanced
God.
diplomacy workshop. Where do you see yourself negotiating peace in 5 years?
Negotiating peace.
Just take a breath and say the first thing that comes to mind.
Mariner. Yeah.
Mariner, what?
Is hot?
Brad,
She's nasty.
Jesus, Brad. I'm not even sure Brad's ready for Ensign. God, this episode tore me up.
Not today. Not on a Da Vinci's watch.
Not on a Da Vinci's watch. Oh, the signatures. Devon Attendee, the best friend ever. Beckett Mariner. Oh, very concerned about you, Beckett. You got me crying too. Bad. I'm really, really worried about her. Oh, it was a great episode. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, I am a mess. I am not doing well. I gotta own up to it. That was a really, really good episode. I'm very, very concerned about Beckett. I'm hoping that she worked out. I'm hoping that she worked out her stuff. I'm hoping that, maybe that's all that it was. I'm very interested about the stuff with Rutherford too. We'll talk about it, but I am just going to try to get my shit together and not ramble too much. So that was Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 9. Fantastic episode in Crisis Point. The only thing left to do, my friends, is to talk about it. All right, my friends, we just got finished watching Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 9, Crisis Point. Okay, full disclosure, I am making this thoughts segment several days after having watched the episode. For no other reason than technically there was a few things that kind of got tweaked that I didn't like a whole bunch. And to be honest, I'm glad I'm doing it now because I'm able to kind of process my thoughts a little bit more. The original thoughts in this was me incredibly spun up and completely incoherent. So I watched it and I thought, no, people are watching this. If they're going to watch me talk about this, they deserve a little bit better than what I put on film. So, my friends, let's go about and talk about this. And first off, my thoughts about this episode. Crisis Point is amazing. In a season of fantastic offerings, Crisis Point is otherworldly. It is absolutely... Its construction, its execution, its presentation, everything is exactly the way. It's this level of excellence I've come to expect from the Lower Decks creative team. And is that fair going forward that I should have such lofty expectations? Unfortunately, guys, no, because this is what you've set up. You've set this up that I'm expecting incredible storytelling in every avenue, every story that you guys elect to tell. I expect this, and you all say, okay, fine, here you go, perfection. So, my friends, what did we learn in this episode? Obviously, this is the episode that basically deals with what kind of comes to a head. And obviously it's not resolved, but the relationship between Beckett Mariner and Carol Freeman, between daughter and mother, that takes center stage with all of this, and it basically gives us a moment not of resolution but of clarity for their relationship. We get to finally have kind of the roots or the structure, the foundation, at least on Beckett's end, laid bare. We find out what Beckett's main problem is with Freeman. It's not necessarily because, a lot of times Beckett just hates authority. And I think it's definitely part of that, but it's also the mother parental influence over Beckett. Carol and Beckett have different expectations for each other that they don't necessarily apply to themselves. You know what I mean? They want the other to behave in a certain way, but they're not willing to behave in an equally kind of compassionate or compromising type of way. They want full cooperation by the other without giving or ceding any type of ground themselves, which is, I hate to say it, it's typical parent-child at certain existence. some people think they know everything, other people's know they know everything. But you know, it's just that's just the way that life works. But to take that and put it into the Star Trek universe, and to put it into Lower Deck specifically, and to apply it to these characters that we have seen this growth and this back and forth with through an entire season, while there haven't been any callbacks, they didn't reference anything that we had seen so earlier in the season. It was still incredibly profound because we were able to because of what we knew, because of the things that kind of like the phantom or the unspoken callbacks, basing the relationship as we know it between Beckett and Freeman, we were able to get a lot from this episode. We were able to really see quite a bit about what's the path going forward for these two. And this is a long-winded way of me saying there was no better way of putting this forward and showing both the limitations and the strengths of Beckett Mariner's kind of relationship psyche, her psychological kind of armor that she had up with Carol Freeman, than to do it the way they did it by putting them in the holodeck, again using Boimler's way over the top, did way more than he needed to prepare for this interview process by making it a completely like rendered chat GPT AI version of the Cerritos, and having everybody in it so close to the way they are that he could bamf and bounce, answers and questions for the interview off of them. I mean, that's Boimler, right? And so in doing that, again, I don't want to gloss over Tendi and Rutherford either. We got to see some very interesting things with Tendi in that there is even though she craves acceptance and she desperately needs everybody to like her, she has limits. And when she thinks that her support of a friend's behavior or somebody else's behavior is self-destructive, we know now that Tendi will not put her own needs for acceptance above the safety or the health of her friends. When she saw something that she didn't like with Beckett, when Beckett was going completely overboard with this movie and this holodeck experience, Tendi opted out, and she stood up to her. No, this is not right. This is not the way that this is supposed to go. I don't approve of this. And that, my friends, is the mark of not only a friend, but a true fucking friend. Somebody that'll say, I'm going to risk our relationship. I'm going to risk your feelings towards me. I'm going to alter them in some way by standing up to you. And true to the absolute legend that Beckett Mariner is, we did have resolution of that at the end of the episode, when she apologized. She apologized to Tendi for her behavior. Again, this is all masterclass stuff because it would be so easy and so kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but we've seen it before where this would have created a rift between Tendi and Beckett, which is still something could possibly happen. I'm not saying that it's not something that's completely resolved. It seems to be resolved, but I like the idea that these writers know these characters well enough to know that if Beckett went to Tendi and said, listen, I'm very sorry. You were right, and I'm sorry. Tendi's not somebody that would be like, well, okay, it's fine. We'll work through it. She said, absolutely, all good. Everything's perfectly fine. That's the evolution of these characters. This is the maturation of these characters, not because they're maturing in front of our eyes. They're from a different age, a different era, where this type of behavior is not supported. Where being mad at somebody because they tried to help. I mean, it shows like almost like a societal evolution that I really, really, really like. But even at not that base, kind of writing off the actual strengths of Tendi and Beckett, it shows such an internal strength between the two of them to be able to, one, stand up to a friend, and two, accept what that friend did for you. Amazing stuff. Rutherford was able to confuse the shit out of me. Rutherford was able to basically give me something to think about that wipes his whiteboard clean. I had all these ideas. Oh, Rutherford's getting aggressive. He's making mistakes. He's, in love with Tendi. Tendi's so cute, he says, whenever he was talking with Badgie. And now I don't necessarily throw that stuff out, but I'm wondering now and I don't know if this was really truly answered. I watched it back again and I still have the same, not confusion, but same questions. When Rutherford was talking about Billups, was it an admiration of occupation? He's just the best. He's just an engineer. That's what I thought at first, but there's so many like underlying for instance, the one thing that gets me thinking is when, Billups is, again, this is holodeck Billups, so we don't know how real Billups feels. But again, take it from private logs. You're not real sure. You're not real sure what you're dealing with here. Billups says, what we should do? We should run away and get our own starship, and then we can do maintenance whenever we want. Or, I forget what he said. Do the warp coil and something, or, phasing something or other. But, very specific. And they're like, oh, yes, that's fantastic. To me, that sounds from both ends, Rutherford and Billups, sounds like a romantic overture. And again, I love the idea of that, especially since, that kind of explains the statement earlier, oh, you mean Billups is here? I get to say whatever I want to my boss and there's no repercussions. Everybody, even me, I thought, oh, he's going to go over there and, rip his ass for doing things badly. But no, he went over there and like kind of confessed how he felt about him. Well, that's a horse of a different color. So if that's the case, then the whiteboard goes clean. I'm going to still keep several of the things on there. Now I have to ask different questions. Was Rutherford making mistakes because he was thinking about Billups? Was he making mistakes or being aggressive because he couldn't express himself to Billups? Now, before I thought the same thing about, I didn't really know why he was making mistakes or kind of being snappy or irritated or aggressive. Other than the fact that maybe he was, thinking about Tendi because he made several comments about Tendi. Oh, she's so cute and he wants to spend time with her, do whatever he could to spend time with her, like trying to change departments and everything. So a lot more questions about Rutherford now going forward, and I can't wait to see where those go. Great stuff. Great stuff. Now, we talked about Beckett and we talked about Freeman, and Brad, of course, is always going to be Brad. Brad's the overachiever who basically either gives us a problem or an answer for a lot of these episodes. And I like the fact that we know what we get with Brad because we're watching him grow. The other people, we're having secrets revealed and we're wondering about questions about, why their performance is down with Rutherford, or, what's really at the heart of the acceptance thing with Tendi, or then the baggage that Beckett and Carol Freeman have is we've already talked about. But with Brad, and I'm sure he probably has secrets, I'm sure he probably has problems, but I've mentioned it before that Brad is our static character, our character to help kind of understand both the Cerritos, the people, and learn Starfleet as we are kind of looking through the eyes and the lens of Brad Boimler as our kind of narrative guy. Now, with that, Brad does have quite a bit of a juicy tidbit at the end of this episode where he finds the juiciest tidbit of the season so far, I might add, where he finds out the true relationship between Beckett Mariner and Captain Carol Freeman. How he chooses to use this, we will definitely have to see. And again, here's the one thing that this was not a two-parter. Crisis Point didn't have the blue to be continued underneath it. It didn't set up some type of sequels, which means it's episodic. Crisis Point, over. For Boimler to react to Beckett, the knowledge that Beckett Mariner is the daughter of Carol Freeman, we have to have some type of bleed. We have to have it has to move away from the episodic and move towards the serialized, because the only way for him to recall that knowledge is for him to do a callback. And we have to have a callback for him to know this. Again, that's just the nature, if he does do a callback, we have bled away from the episodic into the serialized, and we'll have to see how the narrative format goes going forward from that. So I'm super interested to see this in the finale. And again, maybe they're treating it like a two-parter. I don't know, but it certainly didn't seem on this end. There's so many Easter eggs that, are lost on me because my journey with the original series is just beginning. But I luckily can appreciate just the incredible nature of this story, the incredible structure of this story, the incredible passion that is placed in this story. It's incredible stuff. It's remarkable to watch. It's tear-inducing. My favorite, full stop, my favorite scene is when Beckett, as Vindicta is going, over the edge and over the top. And her holodeck version, based off of the private journals that Boimler, stole, comes forward to fight her. And the revelations there, I love the warp core. And then the revelations that you would never have hurt the ship. All of your friends are here. You know, you might butt heads with your mom, but you would die for her. And that was so, it's still days later, that was still, that was so incredibly powerful. That was so incredibly touching because it was, and it was, I don't think I've ever seen a, you know, struggle with someone's own beliefs and structures done so well, using such a great premise of, you know, you're arguing this out with yourself. You're lying to yourself about a lot of this shit. And the only person that you're ever going to believe, you're not going to believe the food referencing psychiatrist. You're going to believe you, because the person in front of you is the closest person to you that you could possibly get. And she told you what it was, and she told you how it is. And thank God you believed her. And that was so amazing. It still doesn't answer many of my questions with Beckett, but what it does for me is it provides a measure of how she is going to deal with some of these things going forward. Beckett to me is an absolutely fascinating character. I don't think that I've ever been as early, definitely as early, you know, 9 episodes, 9 22-minute episodes. And I love this character more than just about any other Star Trek character. I mentioned before about the Mount Rushmore of Star Trek characters that I haven't given my Mount Rushmore yet. I will let you know that Beckett is now on it. And I can't, as insane to me as that is, I can't believe it, but at the same time, there is absolutely no way that she couldn't be on my Mount Rushmore. I'll reveal the other 3 names and the name that was bumped whenever I get further into my adventure here, or if something else changes, I'll start updating it. But as of right now, I want to finish the whole season and, you know, get more into Lower Deck. So but right now in my mind, she's already up there. And so, my friends, if you could hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring-a-ding-ding that bell for notifications for any time we go live here on YouTube with any Star Trek or sci-fi related material. And of course, if you'd like a longer format or the full-length watch-alongs and reactions, and to get them a little bit early, join us over on Patreon. Link is down in the description, my friends. But that is that. And my friends, there's really nothing else to do. But if you could do me one solid, I would like you to Vulcan roll, and I'll see you next time.